Hello, this is an overview of SlideMasters and slide layouts. There's some complexities in behind the scenes on these, and I'm going to first start off with something that's too simple and then show you something that's too complex, and then we'll work towards something that's in between. So recently a friend of mine asked me for a presentation template that was just blank white, nothing else on it. Do you want any bullets? No, I just want a blank white slide. Okay, so I made a template called PlainJane. Now I'll show you what the SlideMaster looks like. This is a SlideMaster and this is a slide layout. So the SlideMaster has absolutely nothing on it. There's no page numbers, there's no stylistics, there's no nothing on it. That's what he asked for, that's what he got. So that was one end of the spectrum. Now at the other end of the spectrum, I'm going to go to one of the templates that Microsoft features. I'm going to go to this one here and call it up. And now I've got a stylistically designed slide set. Go to SlideMaster and you get, this is the default how Microsoft sets things up. So you got all these different slide templates. They just go on and on. I think there's 17 of them. What we've got here is complexity. Now in Microsoft's mind, well, you just don't use whichever ones you don't want to use, which is a way to look at it. But when you are developing a slide, you couldn't remember whether you used this one or whether you used one of the other ones. It gets very difficult. And you see they've got a footer. They've got a date function. Page number shows up here. And these are different entry areas. So this is fairly complex. Most of those things for all those slides are set up in this slide master. That way these different elements show up on all the slides, not just a particular layout. So what you need to know is that each template is set around a certain theme. Under the design menu is a whole list of themes here, the whole collection of Microsoft's featured themes. So what's in a theme? There are theme fonts. This theme font is centered around Century Gothic. Font colors are centered around a theme palette here. They're theme colors, as opposed to standard colors. But this is what comes with this presentation here. Now that shows up in the fill colors. It shows up in the quick styles and a whole collection there, and preset gradients. These are all things that have stylistic nuances to them. So my friend, let's call him Craig, thought this would get him away from all the annoying Microsoft settings. Now let me create a couple things. I'm going to create a rectangle. I'm going to create a text box. Oh, so that's not what you wanted? The settings in a PowerPoint document or template is not limited to the slide masters and slide layouts. There are themes you have to deal with, and it's not likely he wanted this theme, all these pastels. At some point he'd get annoyed with these colors. So as you saw, there are defaults for these shapes, and they're in the background. So let me go to a better set. So this is a shape that has these different settings down here. And this is a text box that has these settings. Those are not made by accident. It takes some effort to make sure it's how you want it. Some people would want their text box to start off with an outline to it. And over in the shape, you might want a different font or color. You might not want the shadow that's around there. But I think these are good standard ones as a good baseline. I'm going to copy those and paste them here. Move them up a little bit. So to set a default shape, you right mouse click and come down to here. There it is. Set default shape. And now when you create a shape, instead of making this triangle that's there, you're making all your shapes come out with the settings there. That thickness align, the shadow, and everything there. The same thing happens with the text box. You go right mouse click and you go set as default text box. And now when you create a text box, it goes back to something a little bit more normal. And since I'm here, I'm going to help them out with a better theme. Instead of having this color set, go up to Design and select the different theme. So the point in me doing this is to illustrate that there's some things that are happening in behind the scenes. The settings in a presentation or theme include these different things here: the colors, the fonts, the shape defaults, text box defaults, and of course the masters and layouts. There's a very good tutorial on YouTube that covers this. The point here is that I agree with my friend. He wants things simple, so do I. But getting to simple takes some effort and takes some know-how. So what we're looking for is some balance. PlainJane is just too rudimentary and it's not going to meet our purposes. And Microsoft defaults are just too complex and will cause confusion in the long run.